Well, good evening. Once again, we're back. I left the team. I was away with the team ya Mwanamchi all the way in Tanzania, where they were playing against Nguvu Moja. Well, my East African friend on my right-hand side with all the smiles. I can tell you, in Nairobi, this past weekend, there was no smiles at all. South Sudan. Hey, we are back again. My name is Velle Mnyandu, and today we are back talking This is African Football. And as you know, there's never a dull moment when it comes to African football. They say football never sleeps on this continent. I can tell you, Aubameyang will tell you a lot about not sleeping, especially in that effort in Gambia, you know. At least people can afford to smile. Other people didn't even get results.
No, they got results.
In this international
1 point, 2 points.
in this international week. Against Sierra Leone, 2 points from a possible 6. I'm not sure, but my Leonard friend, at least he managed to do a smash and grab in Luanda.
Winning away from home, yeah, it matters, huh?
Yeah. Well, in this country, they call them fishermen or whatever, but they all count. 6 points we took from the so-called away game.
No, you're playing 2 home games.
Yeah.
2 home games you're playing.
Yes.
Sudan didn't give them a chance to celebrate.
Well, these things happen, but we'll go back to the AFCON qualifiers much later. We know African football and politics, but also here we are with the great Jeff Katala. Good evening once more.
Good evening, Valile. How are you? We missed you actually, because so when you hear this some kind of synergy that we've had for a very long time now, you know.
Yes. No.
We miss you because we have the goalkeeper, we have the centre back, we have the right wing. We're just missing the midfielder to make the passes.
The libero.
Yeah, libero. So he's here today.
Those deep lying playmaker passes, No, but I can tell you, I was well taken care of.
That's good.
Pity it was a very short stay, Otherwise, how are things going, my pastor?
What can I say? Super Eagles, and it was a nice qualifiers we watched this weekend. Everything is good,
Nice to watch.
No, nice to watch. I've seen a lot of countries.
I think we can talk about nice to watch. There's one game that we cannot bring that game. I thought like maybe they were using an old Motorola to shoot it. I don't even want to go and discuss the pitch.
Yeah.
No, for me,
that's something else. That's something. It's not acceptable. In this day and age we have in the modern football. You expect a lot of overseas players coming to play in Africa. You expect things to be better, but what can you say? At the end of the day, that's what they can produce in Sierra Leone. We just have to go by it.
Well, very interesting this one. But also, I have the great Timothy Batabaire. Unfortunately, things didn't go your way. And in Nairobi, all you needed there, I know we're going to discuss this much later. In Nairobi, all you needed was just 3 points and you've qualified.
Yeah. We left it too late. We lost to Southern Sudan, a new kid on the block on the African continent.
No, half of the country. Lost against half country.
Glad to mention that half the players are playing in the Ugandan Premier League, so it was more of a derby than a competition.
Yeah.
So we picked off, 3 points at home, and then Southern Sudan, because of the facilities not being available in their country, they hosted their game in Nairobi. So it looked like it was a neutral ground for both the Uganda Cranes and the Southern Sudan. And Southern Sudan lost. Interestingly, even the game in Kampala, we almost lost it. We took it by the smash and grab and lost. So I think this is a country that has to be watched. They are really playing well. It's one of the government policies to try and use football as an adventure to market their country, and they are coming right.
That's why you need to give a credit to CAF, making the tournament 24 countries. So teams like Uganda, can
No.
Teams like Uganda can qualify.
But you're complaining about the pitch in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
So how can Sierra Leone host
We
an AFCON?
when Aubameyang hears you trying to give credit to CAF, he may differ.
No, he's on a different.
Yeah, no. We're coming there. Because earlier this week, I think on Monday, there was I know that we're all looking forward to this press conference because he submitted his name, but he had never shared anything around his manifesto or what is he coming up with. The Senegalese FA president, Augustin Senghor. But instead of that press conference coming out with what to expect and what does it stand for, and as much as we've heard that he is this candidate who is coming in case Ahmad Ahmad doesn't go all the way, and then he takes over from Ahmad's campaign. But there were these reports coming out to say he was lambasting Patrice Motsepe. I think this is a story that you've been following. What happened there?
Oh, well, Augustin Senghor, so he's acquainted with African football. He's been, since 2017, he's been ex-com member within CAF, and he's also the Senegalese FA. He's also the president of a local club, which is called US Gore. So, and he's also a mayor of that particular region.
So he's a club president just like Motsepe?
Yes, just like Motsepe, but now he is also the president of the FA, Senegalese FA.
And they allow it there?
Yes, it is allowed. And he's also...
Here in South Africa, they don't allow you to be a club chairman or president and then be an FA president at the same time.
But the chairman of PSL is also an owner of a big club in South Africa.
No.
But you can't qualify to be
the FA.
The FA.
The federation.
The federation president.
Yeah, it depends on each FA, laws.
Certainly.
Absolutely. But in Senegal, it is allowed. So Senegal has been now at the forefront of African football in terms of developing. They've got Generation Foot. They've got Academy de Football. Those are all the academies with the French, in collaboration with French clubs, and that because of Augustin Senghor. So this time he decided to put himself in the fray to be the next CAF president, and it is believed that he has a lot of confidence just because some of the FA in the western part of Africa are going to back him, actually, because he's not as the candidate of Ahmad as a lot of people do think. But Ahmad candidate, he is Ahmed Yaya, the 44-year-old Mauritanian FA president. So he wants some kind of paradigm shift, because you say that
does he want sort of the CAF presidency to return to? I know that most people always mistake Cameroon to be West Africa.
Yeah,
but Cameroon is Central Africa. But also more closer to West Africa.
Yeah.
So is it a case of he wants CAF presidency to return that side?
Within CAF, when it comes to voting, there are two blocks. There's a block of Muslims and the block of Francophone-speaking countries. And that's a big problem when it comes to that. And
you have not forgotten
and then you've got
the English group
who are divided. Who are divided.
Divided.
Very divided, So that's going to cause a problem for Patrice Motsepe. But he hasn't spoken much about Patrice Motsepe. He said it's a vote. Let's go there and let's wait for the result.
But apparently he did say something. Even though from what I am hearing is that maybe it got lost in translation, or maybe those who put out the story, because he did say that maybe the people who were putting forward Motsepe's name were focusing more on his money and not the credentials of what is done for his club, Sundowns.
He did say he's got a lot of money. He's a lawyer, a bank. He works for a lot of banks in Senegal, even overseas. He's a lawyer for banks specialized in banking in sector. So he's got a lot of money. And when he says that, he did mention something like that, but he's attacking the people who are pushing Motsepe.
So he's not attacking Motsepe directly.
No. You said he's an African brother.
I think it will be very interesting. Two individuals with the same qualifications. They are all lawyers. So they know the law.
Yeah.
And once if you know the law, then you are one step ahead of everybody else.
True.
So you just need to get the best accountant, and then you can manage well.
Yeah.
But I think his comment for me rings a bell, and actually that's what we want to eliminate, because we are seeing the continuation of a cartel. Because when he's speaking about in case Ahmad Ahmad's candidature is stopped by maybe the S committee, then he can take over. For me, that's a cartel we are seeing, that they are trying to say, okay, if there's a problem with this one, let this one continue.
But it's been confirmed as the fifth candidate.
That's fine. But
it's been confirmed.
He's saying for his candidate to come on board, it was after consultation with the rest of FA presidents. In case the current CAF president is not going to go ahead to stand, then we have that replacement. So those FA presidents, those votes are there for the taking. I'm sure Motsepe was a surprise candidate at this moment in time.
When it comes to voting, you have to get your blocks in order.
For sure.
It's like at FIFA level. We saw in 1998, before the France World Cup, Avalanche was going into retirement, but it was now time for Sepp Blatter to step in.
Yeah.
And when Sepp Blatter stepped in, they told the Platini to wait. His turn will come. But it didn't come because Infantino betrayed him.
Yeah.
We're concentrating too much on Motsepe and other candidates. I think it's a big threat. It's a big threat to other candidates. But don't forget
Jacques Anouma.
No, for the lecture, the one from Morocco.
Okay.
I think he is very important too in terms. What's coming out, in Morocco, they feel like he's very a strong candidate.
As what? Not as a president.
No, not as a president. In terms of where
Ex-co member.
Yes. No, because I understand that Fawzi lecture is now a candidate for the FIFA Council.
Yeah.
He's put his name up for the FIFA Council. Yeah. And that's what he wants to go for.
Yeah.
I think Morocco has been very influential.
Yeah, in terms of
especially during this current regime behind Ahmad. And one of the things that those who've been opposed to what is happening, that they want to nullify, is to nullify the power that Morocco has had. And I think apparently it's something that even FIFA has not been entirely happy with it, because
but on that, sometimes I'm very critical when it comes to Morocco to controlling most of positions and finances within CAF. But when it comes to FIFA, I stand for them. Because FIFA, first of all, Morocco did present a plan, a project on how to restructure CAF. But FIFA ignored that and sent Fatima there. And the lecturer was not very happy. Because I watched, I listened to him. He said, but we did develop this in Africa. Why they didn't leave?
But later, as Morocco, they were controlling the president.
You see,
that's we have more influence with Ahmed Ahmed.
We are having a very big problem when it comes to CAF. We have one country, and that's Morocco, that is trying to spur intent to control each and every other FA. Now they are trying to present all these sweeteners that are so sweet for the rest of the FAs. When it comes training facilities and everything, the financial incentives, they look so sweet
for training camps.
But they have it.
But we are looking at a situation where we need the administration of CAF to be very independent, to make decisions that are for Africa and African football at large.
Yeah, but we can take the example of Morocco because they have all the structures in place.
Yeah, they have it.
Yes, they have it.
They have it.
Why not? There is a problem that we don't want to acknowledge our own capacity to resolve our own issues in Africa.
But then,
and we do have countries that are best suited.
Jeff,
there is South Africa, there is Morocco. Yeah. Why we don't use the expertise?
Yeah, but I think the problem is it's in the way that Morocco is trying to do this, because they are not genuinely trying to help.
Yes, they do.
They are not genuinely trying to help, but they are capturing.
Now, what have they captured?
Like Ahmed Ahmed, controlling him in terms of...
Where were the first congresses? Where were the first congresses?
Can you explain where we have all the CAF Champions League finals in Morocco?
That was my question too. That was my question.
You understand?
Because Cameroon did say that they're ready to host it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but why
Jeff,
did they refuse?
Jeff, do you remember? I think there was a problem with the Chen. I think the Chen was supposed to be in Ethiopia.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the first thing, they took it to Morocco.
Yeah, but Ethiopia didn't build anything.
They were not prepared.
You know?
They were not well prepared.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
The AFCON, which went to Egypt, it was intended also for Morocco. But I know that South Africa was said to be in the picture, but the government was not really keen.
No, it was not intended. The one from Morocco went to Equatorial Guinea in 2015 for Ebola.
Morocco wanted, but they knew that there was going to be resistance, and then it ended.
But South Africa was also a candidate.
Yeah, but South
No,
Africa.
they didn't get the government backing.
Yeah.
So I think
the
that's
government
why
was
they
not really
couldn't,
keen
yeah.
there. You know, if you remember, I think it was the first 3 symposiums, if not 2 symposiums, they went to Morocco.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the current, this newly introduced CAF Pro license, it's happening in Morocco.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, when it comes to
But
Morocco,
the pro license did start with Issa Hayatou, not with Ahmed. He did start with Issa Hayatou. And the first one was here in South Africa.
no, not the pro license. The pro license, this is the first one.
Yes,
I think that is the CAF A license, that one.
Yes, it should be
Yeah,
the CAF A
it's
license.
the CAF A license.
Yeah.
Because I know about this one, because even Pizzo and Ibenge, they are part of it.
Benzati.
And Pizzo and Benzati, yes,
Yeah.
and Isha, Hassan,
Johannes.
the former coach of Egypt.
Shehata.
Shehata, yes.
Yeah.
But I want to come to the issue of Motsepe.
Yeah.
Because when I look at what Augustin Senghor has been saying, it's no different to what Motsepe was saying. In fact, Motsepe, I think he's been even more direct to say Motsepe must be careful that here this thing is not going to be just about the money.
Money or,
Yes.
there's a lot of things that go into
What did you make of that open letter?
For me, I think he's trying to advise him genuinely. Like, someone that has been there for a long time. All of them, they want Ahmad Ahmad to go, in terms of even ability, he said. But he's trying to advise him genuinely in terms of this is going on, this is what is going on in that system. It's not, what you see outside that is happening inside that environment. So, but I just think for ability, I don't think he has any say in terms of what is going to happen in terms of the voting wise and all those things. But for me, I just think they should give Motsepe a fair opportunity, a fair chance. Don't judge him in terms of his money. Judge him what he has contributed in terms of Sundowns, what Sundowns has achieved, and how long he has been in football. I think over 5 years, if you have been in
But he had to say it. Nobody is against
But
it.
people are saying,
what is important?
People are trying to say that he's not keen or he's not bringing himself out and say that he really wants to push.
That's the
But
strategy.
He has never spoken since he was indoors.
Because they feel like someone is behind him, pushing him to.
What is important right now? We have got Motsepe. This is a banned former CAF, executive committee member, former FA president of Liberia.
Banned by FIFA ethics.
Now, we very well know that he was instrumental in facilitating Infantino.
Correct.
Yeah.
They were in bed together. So along the way, he
In
was
fact,
able.
he was the first African president at a time when CAF had taken a decision
Yes.
that they were going with Sheikh Salman
Yes.
in Asia,
In
or
Asia,
in those
yeah.
elections. Motsepe was one of the first African presidents
Yeah.
to break away
Yes.
and took with him with some FA presidents
Yes.
in
So-
Africa. And like you say now,
So-
in football or in politics
so
or in sport,
with-
there are no permanent friends or enemies.
So with Motsepe, he really saw that Infantino would bring something good for Africa. Now, along the way, he realized that this is neo-colonialism. They want to capture, the executive of CAF into the interests of the so-called FIFA. Now, the moment he raised the issue against Infantino, they reinstated the so-called, misappropriation of funds against him, which led to him being banned for 10 years. So, Motsepe comes out as this independent voice of the downtrodden Africans to raise an alarm against the influence of Infantino when it comes to elections. Because we should not forget that Infantino's support for Ahmad Ahmad started by him attending a birthday party in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Now we are having the similar, points that are coming up against which candidate is trying to incline towards
with
supporting.
the CAF problem too. I mean, FIFA too, they have their own problem,
Correct.
And Infantino, if before March he can be, the Swiss, what is happening.
Yeah,
but
if it happens, so there's no backing.
This is one of the problems. I don't consider Musa ability, whatever he says. He's not a prophet, and he's whether not an evangel. I don't trust him.
No.
I don't trust him because he's the first one. He campaigned against Issa Hayatou to bring Ahmed. And he campaigned against, he was already suspended, Sepp Blatter, to bring Infantino in. Now he's against both of them.
No,
No,
but
you've got to
because it's out.
because he's out.
No.
And himself, he was confronted for mismanagement in Liberia.
Let's not look the reason why it's out. We know it's banned for 10 years. Now, in most cases, when somebody is
by
banned,
who?
We have to look.
banned by the FIFA F committee. Which
Do you trust the FIFA ethics committee?
which
Do you trust the
mechanism?
FIFA ethics
Which
committee?
mechanism?
Do you trust the
No,
FIFA
no,
ethics
the
committee?
people,
That
the
one
people.
is the army. Is the army for FIFA that is being used to put in check of all those individuals who are training
I
to
just wanted
advance
to hear
Arab.
that. I just wanted to
He's
hear
one of the disciples who helped them to come into power.
So we should give him credit.
What for?
Why? And this why. What for is realizing that this is not the right candidate that is leading us. Is leading us nowhere. So he should also
He
move
said
out.
that. He
But-
said
but
that of
Jeff,
Issa.
Don't you find this interesting that about 15 months ago, 15 months ago, FIFA, Ahmad, and maybe the rest or majority of the CAF executive were unified in making sure that this common enemy that is Motsepe must
Go.
but 15 months later, now FIFA and Ahmad,
It was because
you know,
that's why I say that there is no greater issue that we can solve as African. To sack Lagadier was the biggest mistakes. And that was under the influence of Infantino.
Talking of that, I like it when you are in that point. And this is something that we're discussing earlier. And Jeff has just touched on it now. There's a new and fresh case that came out last night from our friend Tariq Paja from New York Times. And it's a very interesting story because last year around this time, Musa Bility brought up this matter of the TV rights and how there was this the issue of the relationship of the Lagadier, how CAF they put aside this deal, which resulted, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, we saw even now, we can't even watch the AFCON qualifiers. Next week we'll not be even able, we'll have to watch on the internet. And we know that Africans, especially in this part of ours, we struggle even with data, we can't afford data, I mean, to watch just 10 minutes of a football match is too much. So now this issue is now a FIFA ethics committee case, and it's coming back to bite Ahmad Ahmad and also Constant Omari. But the timing of this coming out.
We should be aware of the fact of the so-called, we call it the integrity, test that is superimposed on all candidates who come about to offer leadership in any position, especially on the African continent. So at this moment in time, when you talk about the timing is Ahmad Ahmad and Omari. Do they pass that test to qualify? And that brings to mind the reason why Augustin Senghor is indicating that after consultation with other FAs, it was raised that we may not pass that integrity test for Ahmad Ahmad to continue to be a candidate. In so doing that happens, we should have a continuation, and so they are settling for Augustin. So Augustin's candidature is not solely because he wanted to lead football, solely to take it from the doldrums. It was because in case Ahmad Ahmad, their preferred candidate, does not pass that test. Now, Infantino, in pushing any candidate he prefers, is using the FIFA Ethics Committee. Now, at this moment in time, I will say give credit to Bire, that is Musa Bility. He said at this moment in time, he should be suspended because he's under investigation in Switzerland. That's the FIFA president, Infantino. So at this
the same
moment in
should
time,
apply also
the
to
ethics
Infantino.
committee, exactly.
Because
The ethics committee
Infantino
now,
is also
we should hear the ethics committee
investigation.
calling for his head.
Yeah, but you see, the problem, they did, for me, they didn't treat the Lagadia issue very, very well. Infantino was behind them to say that you have to cancel this contract because they are cheating, they're cheating on you. For 12 years, they're giving you $2 billion, $2 billion US dollar, 1 billion euros. So it doesn't make sense. You can cancel this because I have Wanda in China. They can come and they will give you triple that. And they waited, they didn't see Wanda coming to sign with them, to give them the
And now they find themselves in this situation.
Absolutely. That's why they are against Infantino. And that's why Infantino has asked the ethics committees to do what it's doing now and pushing Motsepe now.
So, and Motsepe wants now people who will be, in fact, Infantino want now people who will be listening to him in a way.
Yeah. Listening to him while he at CAF.
Yes.
He has to have control of the EXCO.
Yeah.
If he has the control over them, that will happen.
But can you trust FA presidents
You
in
trust
Africa
them with their
to
word
go
before-
against FIFA?
You can't really.
No, at this moment in time, you cannot, because we very well know that at this moment in time, FA presidents are surviving on the FIFA grant.
Yeah.
And that's why Infantino's voice and his trips are more frequent on the African continent than any ever FIFA president ever. So we are having a situation where we have, a voting bloc. We know very well that Infantino is in East Africa. So he's trying to gather that bloc to vote, in uniform for one candidate that he prefers.
So this trip, this meeting in Nairobi really happened.
Yes, it did happen. So for us, what is important at this moment in time is we know the candidate is trying to push, and that is Motsepe. Let's look at the quality of the leader in Motsepe. Will he be pushed, against his stature? Will he compromise what he stands for?
Are we going to vote for someone who's been pushed, or we're voting on his credentials?
No, it doesn't matter if what is important.
Yes, he does have credentials.
No, Jeff.
Yeah, but
I can argue that Ahmad.
Jeff, listen to
Ahmad
me.
was also pushed.
Jeff, no.
Yeah, but I would never like him.
Because there was no choice. We had to get someone who was within the executive.
Vele, what is important is it doesn't matter who is coming on board to support whoever is supporting. So if FIFA chooses to support Motsepe, it's because there is something they can align with Motsepe, because they're looking at the business acumen of Motsepe, what he can do. Can he bring that on board to transform football? I think that's what we need. At this moment in time, we cannot even invite...
Infantino is not there to develop African football. No.
That's fine. Let's take it for a fact. No, let's take it for a fact. But let's consider that Motsepe is one of our own.
Infantino wants to consolidate power.
Yeah.
So that when he talks in the FIFA Congress, he knows that he's got the majority
There's
of
a
the
bloc.
54. There's a block coming from Africa, which is his launch pad. So, but you know what? I want us to move. I was watching the game of Sierra Leone and Nigeria, and for me, and I was, if this is the advert, if this is the advert, and I'm coming to you, Jeff, because these are your things, but if this is the advert of African football, and for me, it was not just even about what we're seeing on the pitch. At that level, it's like I'm watching a second division game here at home where they are just using two cameras. Or even just one camera that goes out and then zooms in. You can't even see on the other side.
The worst part is that you can't even see the replay. There's no replay.
Yeah, but this is something I've talked about this issue over and over again. It is about time. If CAF cannot set up a TV station like UEFA, like FIFA, because every game which belongs to FIFA goes to H2, something like that. Yeah.
But
those
Jeff,
yes.
We are watching COSAFA under 17.
Yes.
That started today.
Yeah.
Before that, it was COSAFA girls under 17 and COSAFA women champs. A region. You understand?
Yeah.
But now it also talks about the kind of leadership that we've had. You know?
Yeah, the kind of
Okay,
leadership.
for me-
What have we done? When Fatma came to check our books there in Cairo, what did they say? They signed an agreement that all the rights for the qualifiers of the FIFA World Cup and CAF competitions will be under FIFA. Why FIFA didn't provide a quality broadcasting to?
No, but
Okay,
this
okay,
are not the,
okay,
you're
this
talking
is-
about the World
okay.
Cup qualifiers.
For me,
These are not-
yeah.
For me,
these are
I
not
would,
World
I would
Cup
love
qualifiers.
to. I would
That
love.
one, and that one they did. That if you remember when
I would
even
love-
the prelims of the World Cup qualifiers started,
Yeah.
they were on YouTube, and they were broadcast.
Ve-
There was
very-
good quality.
I would love to
but
read-
this one, the AFCON qualifiers, which is under CAF's total control.
Yeah, but they
Really?
can
I
also
would- I would
copy.
love-
You see, sorry,
Yes.
that was the leadership that I'm very critical of Ahmad actually,
Yes.
because even when Lagadia was there, Lagadia didn't deploy the equipment everywhere. They are using also independent people to provide a broadcasting, to provide the feed
but
to
Jeff,
different TV stations.
Jeff, before-
Why are they incapable to do that?
Jeff,
To do
before,
that.
Yeah.
because it's been done before.
before
It's been done.
And
Jeff,
also in Africa,
yes,
we've
Jeff,
got
before we talk about that brand being shot, where are the cameras going to be planted to be able to broadcast the game?
No,
We
no,
should
no.
talk about the infrastructure that is
No,
lacking.
in a stadium,
And-
whether
and-
you
and-
play,
yeah,
whether
no,
you play,
but-
whether
no, no.
whether you
There's
play
space. You have
on
a
the
lot of
sand,
No, no, no,
cameras.
wait.
we do
You
have,
can do.
you
There's
can
space.
do it.
No,
you
there's
can
space.
do it.
No, doing it is possible. It
Yes.
has been done before. But the problem is we're accepting the lower standard so that we can live by.
No, we have to start
can do
somewhere.
better.
We have to start somewhere,
No.
Timothy. You know, we
You
can
know-
just get
I,
good
will-
quality.
I was
Even
involved.
not-
I was involved in a game between TP Mazembe and the Zamalek. That was the Champions League semi-final. And Katumbi was not happy with the broadcasting signal. What did he asked us to hire a company in South Africa and a private jet. We went. The game was going to be played on Saturday. We left South Africa at night from Lanseria. We were there by 10 o'clock. We were already in Lubumbashi with a flying kit, everything. We went straight away to the stadium. We put everything there. Set up. And the next day, the game was perfectly all over the show. So why they cannot do that?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
also,
So
also,
the
I
lack
think-
of
I think-
leadership,
I
for
think,
me-
I think, Tim, we need to educate people here to say what we are talking about is not just about the quality. You understand? Because before you get quality, when you know that you have a game, you have NBC that has bought the rights in Zambia, and you have what's that? There was a TV station that was doing the game of TP Mazembe, Nyayo or something.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Zo something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But and then you've got on time,
Nyota.
or you've got Azam as
Azam,
well.
yeah.
I mean, if you check
Nyota.
Nyota, yes. I mean,
Azam.
Azam. I was watching the game between Tanzania and Tunisia. You could see the broadcast quality. You know, Azam is showing what 100% of the matches for Tanzanian Premier League, and you've got SuperSport or even SABC here. Now you know that those people have bought the rights, so the quality has got to be spot on. The company, it was a private company which was shooting Bafana Bafana. It was not even FSABC. It was a private company which was shooting Bafana Bafana in PE against Sao Tome and Principe. So the moment that deal broke down, you understand, the deal of CAF and Lagadia, it meant that now in terms of the specifics, we are not going to get quality production. That's why even with what we saw of the Nigeria game in Sierra Leone, it's like they were just using, you know. And I was watching a game between Comoros and Kenya. You know, that game. Yes, we're able to watch it on Facebook, but also it was shot from one side. You know, because there are no companies which have bought the rights. So now, in terms of the specifics, there are no specifics to say we need 8 cameras. Because when you have 8 cameras, you know that's when you know that you're gonna need also all the angles. You're gonna need offside calls. I mean, at that level, you watch an AFCON and you can't even see an offside.
Which is crucial.
But they've given it the right after Lagadia. The right have been shifted to an African organization which is called AUB.
AUB, yes.
Yeah, African Union of Broadcasters.
Yes.
Yes, now they have to ask them to answer for that. Why there was very poor quality in the game.
Some of the games aren't
Nigeria.
bad. Even
And-
the Angola one
And the DRC, it was very
It was
good.
good.
It was
Yes,
very
yes,
good
yes,
from
yes,
Cam-
yes.
from Rwanda.
Yeah, but because of the Rwanda Broadcasting Service.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
now they have to ask. Now AUB have to explain why.
But Jeff, before we go into that, I was trying to raise the issue of the infrastructure before this because it's a huge project. CAF as an institution may not be able to tap into that. We need to tap into the government to invest more into the infrastructure. We can look at the example of South Africa. The infrastructure that we have in South Africa, anywhere a game can be hosted, you should have they will have a very good product.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, I beg to differ
I
because I,
beg
was
to
coming
differ.
to that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not in the form of the government.
Yes.
Direct intervention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because like in Europe, sometimes we have to copy what is best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Europe, when it's EU and UEFA,
Yeah.
they work together.
Yeah.
And we do have a sport commission at African Union.
Yes.
They are very dormant.
Very
nothing
dormant,
to do.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So CAF should start working with them
Yes.
on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, it's just
That's
that
how we-
very
no, no,
important.
It's just that we have
That's
to
why we
move.
need Patrick to go inside
You know,
here and fix those
Patrice,
things.
I wanted to say something like that because it's just that we have to move. We have to move. Otherwise, I'm going to drag this
Patrick must get inside there and
Motsepe,
fix.
part of Motsepe comes from the background of African business,
Yes.
and he's already within that
Successful.
committee of business people in Africa. And what is African football lacking these days?
It's money.
Money,
Yes, money.
And can he bring his friends to invest in African football?
definitely.
Definitely.
He's a
Investors.
business. Please don't forget that he's also a businessman.
Yes.
So a businessman cannot invest where he cannot yield return on his investment. Yeah.
For me, it
But the-
doesn't
but-
matter. As long as the profits are there, the product is well, that's okay. UEFA is what it is because it brings in the profits.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's very important. If we can get a leader who can bring in profits
Yeah.
and then
I
we
don't know.
share on
And
the land of football,
you guys,
that's
you
very
will
okay.
be the first to say that conflict of interest.
No. It won't be. We need to understand the fact.
Okay, let's move. Let me be a dictator now.